Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So what is going on with the market right now? Bitcoin is falling, but more importantly, alts are taking a beating. So let me try to explain it all and why this may be the last chance for Bitcoin and alts because of this. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to explain. Let's do this. Welcome, guys. Yeah, it's not looking so good today. Bitcoin is below 65,000. But more importantly, the alts are absolutely taking a beating right now. This is why I made my video last night. I'm going to try to elaborate a little bit more. But overall, Bitcoin, like I've been saying, when in doubt, zoom out. Bitcoin is still going sideways, although it is taking a little bit more on the chin, so to speak. It is going down a little bit more, but overall we are going sideways. We can't say the same for alts though. The alts, like for example, on there's a few that I'm measuring or watching on the side here, like Stacks is down 10%, Jupiter is down 15%, Ton down 9%. Fetch AI down 14-15%. The alts are certainly bleeding right now. And you can see Bitcoin dominance just going up right here, about 55%. Is that going to continue? Well, let me get to that. First things first, the US market is opening in the green. We did get some economic data today. Retail sales rise by 0.1%, weaker than expected. So it's not horrible, but it's coming in less than expected, which is good, which means, again, weaker economy, lower inflation, gives a green light for Powell to cut rates, right? The first one is supposed to be in September, but maybe with more bad economic data, we could get one sooner, as soon as next month. Right? So overall, this is pretty good. You know, the U.S. market actually has been really hot. That's the weird thing, too. If you look at NASDAQ, it broke into a new high. Dow and S&P 500 actually are doing pretty well. But what's going on with Bitcoin then? Why is Bitcoin not following? Well, there's a few things that's happening right now. First of all, liquidations are getting sky high once again. If you look at this, yesterday and including today, for longs, we probably have a little bit over 300 million longs liquidated. Okay, there are still way too many people playing too risky with their portfolio, and there are a lot of people getting wrecked right now with their extreme long positions. Now, we do have a lot of shorts out there. And if we do get a little push upwards, we will get the same thing. But having longs liquidated, never a good thing. Okay, over 300 million. And I saw this article too. Even Doge bulls see 60 million liquidations. The biggest loss since 2021. Right? So, partly the reason why alts are not doing so well is because there are a lot of longs getting liquidated right now. I mean, this is the biggest liquidation for Doge. I mean, you can imagine who's leveraging Doge right now. Well, apparently a lot, because 60 million were just liquidated. So I do think some of this is, some of the alt weakness, not entirely, but some of it is due to that. Now, of course, we do have Wall Street that's also selling off. Yesterday, we had another outflow, about $146 million. Now, in total, of course, the net outflow is still vastly smaller than the inflow, right? The ETFs in the U.S. still hold about 873,000 Bitcoin. So this is not like a massive dump by any means. We're talking about tens of billions of dollars, close to $100 billion worth of Bitcoin still being held by ETFs. But we are seeing more from Wall Street that are selling off Bitcoin. So that is one of the reasons why Bitcoin's a little bit weaker right now. In fact, if you look at in total, 726 million has been sold since last week's FOMC meeting. That's just within 1 week's time frame. Okay, so there are people on Wall Street right now that are selling off Bitcoin ETFs a little bit. Again, 726 million is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, how much is in all the ETFs, still very little. But they are selling ever since we got some, I guess, supposed bad news from Powell saying that we're only going to get 1 rate cut instead of 2. So this also, I think, does, well, not does, but is contributing to some of the sell-off we're seeing right now, right? Obviously, liquidations. We have Wall Street selling off. There's indications that miners are also, some miners are capitulating because they really can't withstand the high hash rate, the high difficulty, and the double the cost, the increased costs, which have doubled. So there are some miners also selling off. Okay, so that's kind of everything. There's no one thing. I know a lot of people are looking for answers like, tell me the one reason why the market is weak right now, or the one reason why alts are so weak right now. There's no one reason. There's several reasons. It's kind of ongoing right now, right? But here's the thing. With all that said, have we seen this before? Have we gone through difficult times before? I think most of you guys know the answer to this, and the answer is yes, many, many, many times. Like I started in the show, when in doubt, zoom out, and if you zoom out, you realize we have been through many, many, many of these occurrences just within the last 3 months. Okay, we're not even talking about the last cycle, just the last 3 months. Since March till now, we have seen many, 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 many dips due to fearful market news, due to liquidations, due to whales manipulating the market, due to Wall Street selling off. We have seen this many, many, many times. But of course, every time we go through it, it kind of sucks. But ultimately, why we're all in Bitcoin and crypto is because we know that this is temporary. Okay? This is temporary. This is simply a roadblock, and we will get past this. Okay? And this is proof. This is proof, not just going back 3 months, but going back 9 years, okay? When it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to crypto, the longer you hold, the more money you make. Because despite all the volatility, despite even prolonged crypto winters, Bitcoin picks itself back up and continues forward, right? Just like if you picked up 1,000 Bitcoin 9 years ago, it'll be worth $289,000. Now, a lot of that is due to inflation. Inflation has made everything more expensive, but a lot of that is just Bitcoin appreciating and outperforming everything. Even 5 years ago, 1,000 Bitcoin 5 years ago is now worth $8,100. Even 1 year ago, 1,000 Bitcoin is now worth $2,500. Okay, think about that. That's even 1 year ago. You would have more than doubled your money already. So that's the thing. This is what you need to realize. When in doubt, zoom out. Nothing outperforms Bitcoin. It's the greatest asset to hold. And short term, yeah, we may have some volatility, but long term, it's nothing but gains. That's what really comes down to, right? And every time the market sentiment does seem to shift towards bad or negative, or it's really FUD-ish out there, right? Every time people, or maybe some bears out there, will say, I didn't even check Peter Schiff, but he probably put out a nasty tweet. Every time some Bitcoin bear says, it's over, we're going lower, the run is over, the bear market is here, and the bull market is done, right? Every single time, somehow, again, when in doubt and you zoom out, you realize we've just been making higher lows and higher lows and higher lows and higher lows, and we're actually making higher highs and higher highs and higher highs as well, right? So again, got to change your perception a little bit, realizing that hey, we have gone up a lot, very fast. Now short-term volatility is here. We may be going sideways for a while, but it's perfectly normal in every single cycle. Here's something else that shows the same thing, basically, right? The last cycle in 2017, not the last, 2 cycles in 2017, we saw a very similar situation. Very similar situation where we got some choppiness, we got a little bit of volatility right before we had a huge leg up, okay, starting from 2020 and beyond, right? We're seeing the same exact pattern. And even if you look at short term, you look at what has been happening since March. I mentioned about going sideways, but even if you look at it from a short-term perspective, right, the ascending triangle is still in play. So really, we haven't really done anything out of the ordinary. We haven't fallen to some new level. We haven't broken any moving average. We haven't really done anything other than move according to plan. So just remember that. I know a lot of you guys are fearful. There hasn't really been anything that we're saying right now that tells me otherwise, that we have broken through something important and now something different is happening in this cycle. No. In fact, this is why I say it's last chance for Bitcoin and altcoins. It's really the last chance for the bears. That's what I mean. It's really a last chance for the bulls to pick up while things are cheap, right? I think this is a really good chart showing that every single cycle, what it's like, right? Going from crypto winter, which you bottomed out and it goes to despair to accumulation. Then you have this trend emergence showing things are coming up. You have a shakeout, kind of like a mini bear trap. It always happens. Then you have that building momentum. You have that first sentiment extreme, and you could argue that was in March, right? Especially for the alts. Alts had a terrific March. And then you have a bear trap, right? This is where the bears kind of take over and makes everyone fearful, thinking that, well, okay, the bull run is over and the bears are going to take over. No. That's when we bottom out once again and then head towards the top. The next leg I've been talking about, renewed optimism, that's around the corner. That is going to come. Then we have FOMO, and then we finally top out with euphoria. And this time around, with the institutions and the banks and the fintech companies and public trade companies, all these guys, when they really feel FOMO and euphoria, that's when we're going to see price levels we have never, ever seen in the crypto space. It's going to blow people's minds. It's going to be fantastic, right? So this is how I see it. You know, hopefully none of you guys are giving up. I know it could be fearful, but this is perfectly normal in any cycle. And nothing we have done so far hasn't been seen within even the last 3 months, and certainly has been seen in prior cycles. We have seen many times like this where it's very fearful. Now, the good thing is, even though we have all these longs being wrecked, the shorts are going to get their turn too. We have $10 billion worth of shorts, just right around 72,000. Keep in mind, we were 72,000 less than 10 days ago. Less than 2 weeks ago, we were at 72,000. And just for us to get back to 72,000 would liquidate $10 billion worth of shorts, right? That's why this is a bear trap. The bears are getting some confidence. They think they can drive Bitcoin lower. We have $10 billion worth of shorts piled on right now. just going back up to 72,000. And that could come at any given time. So I'm waiting for that. And I know that's going to happen. But this is why we're setting a trap, right? We're setting a trap for the bears. Now, last few things I want to show you guys. Coinbase, just to show you guys how big Coinbase is. Even though their reserve is dropping, they have about 270,000 Bitcoin to themselves. And they hold 570,000 Bitcoin. So if you add them together, they're close to a million. They have 900,000 Bitcoin on hand. That is an absolute monstrous amount. But the one thing I want to show you is the dark blue. That's the reserve for Coinbase. And you notice that it just continues to go lower and lower and lower, especially all these OTC buys. A lot of them are coming from Coinbase. Overall, the balances on the exchanges are dropping, not just for Bitcoin, but also for Ethereum, right? So when it comes to price, supply and demand is going higher, supply is going lower, right? Ultimately, that is what's going to drive things upwards. All right, what else is there? Something else. I saw this. I don't know. Some of you guys are still gold guys. I am not a gold guy at all, but Tether is launching a new stablecoin that's backed by gold called Alloy. Why don't they come out with a stablecoin backed by Bitcoin? They already hold Bitcoin in their reserve. I don't know why they're choosing one backed by gold. Anyways, just thought I should share that. I don't know who's going to be using that. I think USDT is still going to be the dominant powerhouse. So I don't know. But lastly, Coinbase is going to come out their own Launchpad. That's kind of interesting, but only internationally, not for the US, but they're basically following the same footsteps as everyone else, like OKX and Binance and all these guys that got away with a lot of other things that can't be done in the US. Coinbase is going after them, right? Launchpad, futures trading, you name it. They are just getting involved with everything. All right. That is pretty much it. Let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see here. Let me scroll up. I may have missed some super chats that have disappeared, so I apologize. I was on a roll. I couldn't stop. Oliver is asking, hey, George, do you see ADA getting back to previous all-time highs or higher in this bull run? I think ADA will at least get back to his previous high because of Charles, and he's never going to give up. I shouldn't say never. Eventually, he's going to leave when Cardano is deemed decentralized, right? But for now, I don't think he's going anywhere. And because of his support, Cardano, I think at the very least, will get back to their previous high. We have seen Cardano do crazy moves all of a sudden out of nowhere before, and it can definitely happen in 2025 or even later 2024. $64K is the floor, Phil says. You know, like, to be honest, if I'm looking at this right now, yeah, I believe if we do continue to go lower, what we're going to do is bounce off of this 63.8. So that's about 1,000 points away. I think if anything more drastic happens, that's what's going to happen. That's going to be a support, and then we bounce off of there. And again, it's not like we haven't seen that before. We have seen that many times. Okay, so even if it does happen, it's not the end of the world. Crypto Moose. How far are we dropping? Should I take a lien on my house? No. It doesn't matter. Even if Bitcoin is falling to 30,000 tomorrow, okay, do not take a lien on your house. Do not invest. Rule number one when it comes to any kind of investing, do not invest more than what you can afford to lose, okay? Can you afford to lose your house? I would say most people would say no, okay? That's where you live. That's where your family is. You never want to put that in danger. By taking a lien against your house, you're under a whole lot of pressure to, or a second mortgage or whatever, to perform, right? You're paying high interest fees, especially now. And there's like a lot of costs associated with that, and you're just risking too much. So I would never advise anyone to do that, no matter how sure you are. Even if you knew that Bitcoin's going to fall to 30,000 tomorrow and recover right back up, there's always a possibility of something else happening. So I would not suggest that. Evan says, can Jupiter realistically 15x from his price right now? Jupiter 15x? I don't know about 15x. It's already pretty big. Jupiter is at, let's just round up, 1 billion. So you're talking about going to 15 billion? What was Uniswap's peak? Let's look at Uniswap's peak. So market cap all time, it was at 21, 22. Yeah. It would still be below Uniswap's all-time high. So can that happen? Yeah. I mean, just look at what happened here, right? End of 2020, Uniswap market cap was less than $1 billion. Hey, that's around right now. And then within December timeframe to May of 2021, it went up 22x. 22x within 5 months in 2021. So it definitely could happen. It definitely could happen. That's actually crazy. I didn't realize that they actually started pumping the first month of 2021, and they did a 21x, 22x within just a few months. That's kind of crazy. Dream Shake Jones, just want to let you know I appreciate your work. You helped me learn money discipline and will be reasons why I'll be a millionaire. You're welcome, and that's what I hope to see. I hope everyone in here attains financial freedom at the very least, and after that, life-changing wealth. Evan says, just became a whole coiner, long time coming, congratulations. Becoming a whole coiner is not easy. It's not easy at all. I said that at 20K, I said at 30K, I said at 40, 50. Even though we have a slight dip right now, even at 64, 65K, it is extremely difficult. There's very little people on the planet that can take out 60,000 plus from their account and buy whole Bitcoin with it. But it's much easier if you buy over time with DCA, dollar cost averaging. All right. Miles, appreciate Tiberius. No idea. Everyone else, do not at me. Relatopia, don't at me. Yeah, today's just not a good day. Brutal day for alts today. Max is asking for Mana Decentraland. Oof. I have not heard one person ask me about Mana since like probably 2021. Yeah, I can't say good things about Decentraland at this point in time. First of all, I've heard nothing so far since 2021. You know, before they used to have music festival, virtual music festivals. They have brands showing off stuff. I don't hear about any of that. Plus, games are so weak right now. Metaverses are even weaker. Can they come back? Yes, but can they get back to even their previous high? I mean, look at that. They were at 10 billion. 10 billion at one point, maybe even higher. Can they get back up there? I'm not even so sure, to be honest. not not so sure. You write back, George, start your own meme. Great community effect here. You know, how awesome would that be? Every time we had market volatility and, things were getting weak, but my meme would just go up because of how strong you guys are. That would be absolutely fantastic. I think about that a lot. Kevin says, I'm starting to get worried about cryptocurrency. Kevin, you're lying. And if you're not lying, I don't know what to say because I've seen you in here for years. So either you're lying and trolling or you're for real. And if that's the case, I don't know what to tell you because you've been around since sub 20,000 Bitcoin. Dennis, don't at me. Anyone that at me at CryptosRUs, I'm not going to answer. That's one of my pet peeves. If you want your question answered, ask it regularly like everyone else. Charlie Rogers, any thoughts on Omi Kaimi and Ryujin? I have no idea what that is. No, so I have no thoughts on it. I'm sorry. Error, is VeChain dead? What's your price prediction? It is not dead. They're just very, very, very slow in terms of moving into DeFi, DePIN, NFTs, memes. I don't know. I don't know why I said NFTs. No one wants NFTs right now. But all the retail stuff that people care about, they're very slow in moving in that direction. So that's why they're slower. When do you think Fed will cut rates? Probably September. But I'm really hoping that we get a lot of bad economic news within the next month, and then we get one end of July. So that's what I'm secretly hoping. Still off chance, but I think it'll probably be September. What do you think about ZK Sync and their airdrop? To be honest, there's so many L2s out there. ZK Sync, I think they have a decent amount of TVL. Hey, look at that. Look at that, the IFC with Ben. ZK Sync, they're top 5 right there. So I think they could do okay. I don't know about the airdrop. If you get some free tokens, great. But there are definitely a lot of L2s out there. Daily dose. Which two altcoin bags to fill up for a 5 to 10x next year? That's a good question. I'd say I definitely think that Solana is one of them. I definitely think so. I think maybe Toncoin is going to be another one because it is so damn strong and been moving so much. But there's others. I do like Avalanche a lot. I do think that they have great potential. And, go down the list, like Near could do that since they've gone in the AI direction. Even like someone like Pepe can do that. Hopefully Polygon could do that, but Polygon has been really, really weak. Deep in play like Render can definitely do that. I mean, there are a lot that can. Shark Cat. Yeah, I don't know about that. JMK, can you unban me? Crypto plebs. I don't know what I have done. Been a channel member for years. I'll take a look, but normally bans. I'd never unban someone because I only ban if they deserve it. Elmer, everything's on sale today, DCA time. Alter down 50%, meaning they're going to go additional 5x when they run. Thoughts? No, it only needs to do a 2x to make up for the 50% down. I don't know where you got the 5x from. Because 2x means doubling, and you need to double to make up for a 50% down, right? This NBA Finals is kind of boring because it's been blowout after blowout after blowout. Like, Game 4 was rigged. They basically just wanted at least to have 5 games in the series, but Celtics are just they're too loaded. Mavs just had no chance. They're just too loaded. Will Sand do a 10x? They got injection from Animoca Brands. They're owned partly by Animoca Brands. So that's not new. They need to do a 10x just to get back to the previous high. I'll say they could get back to the previous high. Kind of like what I said with Decentraland, but Decentraland I'm not so sure. I think Sand could probably get back to their all-time high prior in 2021, but I don't know if they can do much better than that. Like, metaverses are just so weak right now. There's no one talking about how hot metaverses are. Even outside the crypto space, you don't hear Meta talk about metaverses anymore. They've been losing tens of billions of dollars over the years, and they don't even talk about it anymore. Jorge says, don't underestimate gold. Countries like China and Russia and the whole BRICS system are racking up gold. They've been doing that for years. Okay, US has a ton of gold. Doesn't mean anything. It's way early, way too early for metaverses. Yeah, eventually it'll be like Ready Player One, where metaverses are so good you can't tell the difference between real life and a metaverse. Sure, when we get close to that, yeah, it'll be widely used, probably. But until then, the ones that we have now, not so good. Janet Yellen says the banks are more safe than cryptocurrency. Well, do you think she would say otherwise, given that she's the U.S. Treasury Secretary? Think about it. If she's in charge of the money printer of the United States, you think she would say banks are not more safe than cryptocurrency, Kevin? Arbitrum, good entry point right now. I would say when you're looking at alts, everything is a good entry point right now. I don't know one alt right now that is showing true strength. Everything has dumped down, especially over this last month. But even yesterday, today, we're seeing a lot of weakness with alts, right? As for Arbitrum itself, though, I would just say this. Base have stolen a lot of thunder from Arbitrum. A lot of thunder. And their TVL is growing by leaps and bounds right now. So Arbitrum still has, I believe, a ton of unlocks coming. And with the fact that Base is growing by leaps and bounds, long term, I think Arbitrum will still do well, but will they do phenomenally well? Probably not. The L2 space is so crowded now, and Coinbase is kind of leading the way because of, you know, Coinbase. Base is leading the way because of Coinbase, so check out Bambit. It's a panda-based coin. You'll fall in love, I promise. I don't even know what that means. It's a panda-based coin. Like, is that supposed to mean something? Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Someone says CMC has unlock scheduled. That's a good point. Let's look at Arbitrum real quick. Where do we see total unlock, token unlocks here? Yeah, every single day. Wow, every single day they're unlocking 479,000. That's daily. Where's the overall? Here we go. Yeah, since this team, future advisors, investors. Oof. That's okay. That makes me like very bearish on Arbitrum. You could see how the unlock for the team, future team advisors and investors, how that schedule is only increasing. So the number of tokens goes from where it is now, right? It's go triple. It's going to be at least double, but versus prior is triple. Yeah, so that's not going to help Arbitrum at all, actually. That's horrible. That's horrible. The investors and the investors are definitely going to be dumping. This is pretty useful. This is pretty useful feature in CMC now. Sydney, I appreciate that. Do you think Joe Biden holds BTC? No, he has no idea. Okay, Omi Kaimi, next project Ryoshi. No, that's false. No one can prove that. No one knows what he's working on. No one even knows if he's around. Okay, I clarify. Bambit, it's a panda-based meme coin. Just check the chart. It's so bullish. It's not so bullish. It's under 3 million market cap. 1.26K holders, relatively small. So no, it's not very bullish. I don't know why that just reset. It's like, I didn't want to be rude because the guy sent $10 worth of super chat, but I knew that it was just a bad idea to pull that up. Limitless Adventures. There are many tokens that are popular and have a good foundation, but the unlocks are insane. Sui's another one. I think Pith has unlocks as well. Really makes you think. Yeah, that is something that, even me, I don't particularly like remember or really look at the unlocks, but I do think, in a bull market, the unlocks get eaten up and no one really cares about it. But in a sideways market, in a down market, it really comes to be. It plays a big issue. Yeah, early contributors for Sui, and then you look at Series B, Series A, community. Yeah. Sui only has 24% of tokens unlocked. There's still 75% waiting to be unlocked. So, but a lot of that is coming later after the cycle. A lot of it is 2026, 2027, 2028 during the next supposed crypto winter. But still, going 2025, you see they have just started unlocking an enormous amount of tokens. I'll start checking this more. I think the unlock schedule is pretty important to look at going forward. A lot of these, like some of you guys may be wondering, like why BNB is so stable, right? And why it's so high. Well, BNB does have a finite supply. They do have token burning, which actually burns a ton every quarter. So that's one of the reasons why it's doing well, right? But a lot of these, I'm just curious about Ton. I wonder if Ton has any unlocks or it's all out. Circulating supply, total supply, no. It doesn't have. They don't have one for Ton coin. Yeah, they don't have the info for Ton. Ty Fox. Let's see. U.S. market is doing okay today. Nvidia's up big. Coinbase is barely down, so that's good. Let's see. MSTR, MicroStrategy is barely down. So that's good. It's not like Wall Street is terribly bearish on Bitcoin and crypto right now. Because we have seen days where MicroStrategy and Coinbase goes down like 8%, 10%, 15%. That's when you know they're really bearish. They are not very bearish on it right now. What else is there? Like, I don't know. Something like iBit, for example. Let's see. iBit is down 2%, 3%. All time. 40 down to 37. Vinny, Cardano, AVAX seems like dead projects. Do you think it could recover? AVAX for sure. Cardano probably back to its previous high at the very least. Sydney, should I get Superverse and Vulcan Forge? Any thoughts? Got 200K to invest. I don't know. I think Vulcan still has potential for sure. I don't know about Superverse though. I think there are better. There's other plays that you can invest. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. So, yeah, we're showing a little weakness today with Bitcoin, but more importantly, the alts, right? But when in doubt, zoom out. We have seen this before. Alts are going to recover. They are. Just think of them being on discount right now. Okay. We will get altcoin season, just not right now. We will get it later. You can see it for yourself. Look at what happened in 2021. A lot of them did a 10, 15, 20, 30, 50x. But the timing has to be right. So right now, you got to stay strong, stay focused. Do not get feared out of the market. We have seen volatility before. We're still holding strong. So I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Another George says, Sergey Nazarov is Satoshi. Many indicators prove it. Can send you a video. No thanks. I don't need to see that. And I've probably seen it before. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.